Hi everyone, my name's Anne-Marie. Welcome to this Spellbinders card making project. In this project, these are the few items that we're going to be using from Spellbinders. All the items I do use, I'll list on my blog in the detailed description, so be sure to click through to have a look at the details. So the first item we're going to be using is the 3D rubber stamp for the Mr. and Mrs. from Spellbinders. We're then going to be using Labels 20, and we're going to be using the Graceful Corners 1 set, and then we're going to be using the Botanical Bliss floral tags. So those are a few of the Spellbinders items that we're going to be using, and the first thing that we need is our card base. So I'm going to be working with a 6x6 inch card base, and I'll show you how it looks on my cardometer, just so that you get an idea at home of the scale that we're going to be creating. So that's where it sits, nicely just below the 7x7 inch square and just above the 5x5 inch square. So that will help you have perspective at home of what size it is. The first thing I'm going to do is take my bone folder to make sure I've got a nice sharp crease along the edge, because that gives it a nice professional finish and it helps it stand up nicely. As always, we're going to do the inside first. This is an ivory card base, and the first thing that I've done is I've cut a square that fits the actual base, and I've also got tape on the back of it, and then you'll see in the four corners I've actually die cut using the corner die, and I've just simply die cut and I've left the apertures. So in a way this could be your waste if you're using it to make corners for something else. So I'm simply going to position this inside the centre of my card like that. And then what I've done is I've already cut some corners using a nice red card, and I've run them through my Xyron machine, and this is from the corner die from the items that I've shown you, and I'm simply going to pop them in to the apertures that we've cut already. So I'm peeling them off the Xyron sheet and popping them in, and they just fit so nicely into that aperture. Peel away the waste from the sheet, and we'll just add the remaining ones. There we go. Now it's a nice simple insert, but it just adds a little bit of extra to your project. So those are my four corners, and then what I did was I used the rubber stamp and I stamped it using a matching dark red ink. It's from StazOn was the ink for this, onto ivory card, and then I cut away the floral on the outside, and again I ran that through my Xyron machine, and I can just add that through the centre of my card. And then there's enough room for my message for the happy couple, etc. And it's just a little bit of something that adds that extra touch to your card, and it's going to match perfectly to the front. Now I'm just going to use my bone folder again to make sure we've still got that nice sharp crease along the edge. And I've cut a layer for my card in a nice deep red colour. I've already got tape on the back of it, so I can just peel my tape away, and we can add this to the front of the card. There we go. And it leaves a matte effect around the edge, just giving you a base for everything else we're going to put on. So the next thing that we've got is I've actually die cut the corners again from ivory card. Well, I've used the corners that I cut from when we used to make the centre. Then I've used my PVA glue drops and I've just added a few pastel drops on top of them just to add a little bit of colour. Again, I've run it through the Xyron and I ran it through just before I put the drops on. And now I can just add these to the corners. And I've found it easier to do the corners on this card first before I do the centre. So now I can just add the remaining two. And I'm just adding them just a few millimetres away from the edge, so we still get the red showing through around the corner. So I've got a little bit of adhesive on there, so add that like so, and there we go. So those are my corners. We'll just move that one up slightly so that they're all kind of straight. So that's our first layer. Next I'm going to use Labels 20, and I've die cut this out of ivory card, and I've got it on 3D foam, and I'm simply going to position this through the centre of my card like that and press it down. Then I've got two of the floral tags that I've already die cut in the deep red colour, and I'm going to simply place one over the other so that I get a larger size like so. So I'm marrying them both up, and I've already got tape on the back so that we can attach this to the top of our Labels 20. So I can just peel the back of this away and then place it through the centre like so. And then I've stamped the 3D Mr. and Mrs. stamp, and I've simply watercoloured it using watercolour pencils, just giving it a few pastel tones, and then I've shaded in an ombre effect through the centre where the sentiment is. I've put it on 3D foam, and I'm going to position it through the centre where the two floral tags meet, so it covers that join up and it makes it look like one long embellishment. And then to finish the card off, I've got a little red satin bow with a bling stone in the centre, and I'm adding that to the top of the label like that. And that finishes the card off perfectly. A very simple and easy card to make that looks so pretty with the inside matching the outside. And I do hope you like it. Please give me the thumbs up. Check out my blog for the detailed description of everything I've used. If you've got any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. You can contact me on my blog at the moment because I've had an issue with YouTube. It deletes my replies when I reply to you, so I've had to turn the comments off. And I know a few of you are a bit upset about that, but I'm sorry, it's out of my hands at the moment. So we're just going to have to just either do it through Facebook for contacting me or through my blog. So I'd just like to say thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I will see you next time.